I wanted to address the case of Lucy Connelly, the British mother who is in prison for a single tweet. As many of you know, Lucy has just been to the courts to appeal against her sentence, 31 months, for a single tweet. And I believe as of today, she's done 284 days in prison for a single tweet that was deleted. And personally, I don't care what your opinion was about the tweet. I don't care for the people who say it's a terrible tweet, but I've no time for that. It was a tweet on Twitter, which is a cacophony of noise at the best of times, and she deleted it. There is absolutely no reason for her to be in prison under any rational argument. What you saw after the Court of Appeal was, instead of Lucy being released on that day, which would have been absolutely appropriate, the Lord Justice had to go away and have a little think about what he was going to do. And that is a clear indication that he's not deciding on the basis of facts placed in front of him or on the basis of law. He's being told what will be best for the British government. The next thing is that people that still believe in the law will try and rationalise it. So they'll say things like, Lord Justice Hollyroyd, whatever he's called, the justice that decided Lucy wouldn't be released, released Lord Nazir Ahmed 3 years early. Lord Ahmed, a Lord Ahmed raped a 9-year-old, but this same Lord Justice released him 3 years early. Or, for example, the government are about to early release 15,000 prisoners. They're releasing actual criminals from prison early to clear space in prison. And the problem with this way of thinking is you're trying to rationalise the irrational. It leads to an easy conclusion, two-tier Kia. But it's actually much more sophisticated than that. It's not that you can't just rationalise the irrational. It's much darker than that again. Because you get to a place where you realise the law is not the law. The Lord Justice didn't get to be Lord Justice just by dispensing something according to some ancient book that he dusts off and decides what his opinion about the law is on that day. It's a tool of the powerful to control the ordinary. And I learnt this lesson a long time back. In fact, case law that's being used in this case was fabricated just for me in order to take my home, all of my savings, and force me to near bankruptcy. That says damage is done at the time of publication, and if you perceive you are harmed by a tweet, that's enough. You don't have to prove it. That was made up especially for me and is being used now. So the day you find out the law is not the law is not actually a great day, because you realise there's no justice. And I don't mean that there's no justice in this world. I just mean it in a very literal sense. There is no such thing as justice that will be served through the courts. There is other justice, but that's a different matter. And there is no such thing as the law is the law, which also means you can't appeal to anything. You can't appeal to rational, because rational doesn't exist, because the law is a tool of the powerful. And that's a horrible day. I had my day with that probably a decade or so ago. And the thing that I think is being missed when people just shout two-tier Kia, which it's become a sort of throwaway phrase, or queer Kia or whatever, is Lucy Connelly is not a prisoner. Lucy Connelly is a hostage. She is a hostage being held by the British state. Lucy Connelly is a hostage of the British government. And there is a specific reason that I say this. Lucy Connelly is being used as the whipping boy. She has been put in the stocks in the public square for all to see. And when she's crying in court, appealing because of the horror, the daughter might not make it, still the government says to its hostage, you're going back to jail. And it isn't about Lucy. It certainly isn't about a tweet. It's a message to the British people. You stay in your place. You keep your heads down. you stay compliant, you don't ask questions, you go to work, you pay your taxes, you pay your bills that rise every day, you pay for this, you pay for that. You don't have democracy, but you keep your head down, you nod along, and you keep quiet. Otherwise, we will do this to you. And it is no coincidence that prison places are being cleared. It is no coincidence that another 1,000 places, makeshift temporary prison spaces are being created in readiness. And it is no coincidence that prisoners are being released early in order to create spaces. Because there is only so long that you can keep doing this to people before that they see the system that is being used to control them is all a lie. And I will add on a personal note at the end of this, without involving myself in the wider conversation, because this is a Lucy Connelly story and a British government story, is that there are a number of us who have been through all of these phases. There's a few of us who have already lost everything. Some of us are already on extra time, so there is no need to be afraid and there is nothing to fear. And whilst personally, at this moment, I am currently under threat from a number of different powerful organisations that I can't specifically talk about, what I can say is, for some of us, there is nothing more you can take. And ultimately, what matters more to us is to keep being true, standing in truth, being free enough to be able to stand up for what we know is right, because there's nothing anyone can take from me, for example, despite the threats currently now on me. And so what? So this isn't at all, I'm not at all concerned for myself. I'm trying to give reassurance that for some of us, there's nothing more anyone can take. So it doesn't matter that there is a hostage, because that doesn't scare us. It doesn't matter that prison spaces are being cleared specifically, because that doesn't scare someone like me either. So have faith that this fight goes on. Please know that Lucy Connelly isn't a prisoner. She's a hostage. And please know, ultimately, that good wins in the end. And no matter how many of us it is going to take to get to the bit where good wins in the end, there's a good, strong number of us who are here ready with the baton to take it and pass it down the line. And to Lucy Connelly's family, I would just say, please know that you're not alone. Please know that we are many, many, many more than you could possibly know. And please know that we are stronger together.